It's another Every Woman Wednesday, and this is the last one in April. It has come in like a lion and out like a lamb. I don't know about that. Today we're talking about red flags. Red flags in all kind of situationships, relationships, all the ships. In fact, Red Cups, Memorial Day is upon us. Neither here nor there. At the end of the day, we're talking about the wonderful things that give us pause and then also some green flags too. So, cheers. You are now watching Every Woman.
Queens over here, and make no mistake, big things over here. Goddess in the flesh, you can tell by the smell of it. Every time I step in the room, it's an elephant. Woman.
We are every woman. Well, because that's how I'm going to start. Peace, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Every Woman. Before you got here, we have been already really mixing and mingling and coming together as sisters to come think about the topic of today. The topic of today is red flags.
Yeah.
Things that we need to pay attention to make sure that we don't continue to hurt ourselves in situations that don't necessarily need to happen. So, peace, Toy.
Hey.
Peace, Okila. Peace.
Yes.
Peace, Lovely.
Peace.
How's everybody's week going?
Oh, my week is going great. I'm having a good week. I'm looking forward to a lot. I got a dope weekend ahead of me, so I'm excited. Y'all can catch me a punchline, by the way. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead, plug that in.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Hopefully, girl, just niche out of Chicago,
Okay, out of Chicago.
Yes.
Peace to the western side of Michigan. I'm going to call that Chicago. And then on to this side.
Yes, well, I had a great week. I've actually did a lot of networking and been going out and stuff, so it was a good week. I'm working and going. I have been outside.
Whoa.
Post the Rona.
I like
Whoa.
that.
Okay, I've been outside. Okay.
Keela, where you been?
Okay, well, I went to a little Motown event that they had for the
nice.
cover.
Nice.
There was a cover song event, and so they basically somebody won $25,000.
Oh,
A
wow.
whole 25,000.
And somebody else won 10, and somebody else won 5. So
God
it was
bless
like
them.
a really nice contest that they had at the Motor City Soundboard. And then I
nice.
got a chance to go to Punchline and see LeVar Walker.
Yes.
So yeah, then went out to eat a couple times, and so I mean, to me, that's a lot of
a
outings.
couple times.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay, more than once this week.
That's a blessing.
Okay,
That's
so
a week.
How
that's
about
a good
that?
week.
And
Yeah.
Miss Lovely.
Work. That's what I do. I
Work. Okay,
Monday.
but
Her
what
work
has
make people
work?
feel good.
It
Yeah.
makes people feel good.
It does.
And what has come of work? What has inspired you from work this week?
So I will honestly say I have a client who called me out to come and take care of his grandmother. So
His grandma.
That was a highlight of my week. Yeah, it is. That was beautiful for me, when somebody thinks of me enough to take care of somebody who's taken care of them for a long time.
And what kind
Yeah.
of client was this? Massage client?
It's a massage client
So your massage client recommended you to their grandma.
to their grandmother. So that speaks volumes to me.
How do you
Yeah.
feel about massaging seniors?
I like them more than I like the average folks. Yeah.
Well, that's good to know.
We know
it's
why.
the kids and the elderly for me. It's the children and the elderly for me.
Do you feel like they're more appreciative?
Absolutely.
That's real. And actually, my
that is
my
hard.
dad feels the same way. But I want to ask you, why do you feel that way?
They're neglected.
The kids and the elderly are neglected.
Yeah. Children
Dang.
are overlooked because they are fun and loving and they have all of this energy all the time. So they're overlooked. And the elderly are overlooked because they've been taking care of others for so long. And people don't really have time for them or extend all of the services that are necessary to keep them afloat. This person took care of you for years, so why not take care of them?
Years and
Exactly.
years. Toy, what do you think about the elderly and the children?
They definitely need some taken care of in stuff.
And stuff.
And
I'm gonna
stuff.
go to Okila.
They do.
I mean, I being a hairdresser, I mean, I work on kids and the elderly. And they are both some of the hardest people for me sometimes because they can be sometimes the pickiest, and kids don't want to sit still, but for the most part, I don't mind either way because I enjoy working with everybody though.
The elderly is the best though.
Yeah.
Because they're frank. They're straightforward. They're not going to hold you up. They're not going to sugarcoat it for you. They're going to let you know what you need to do and get to it.
They're definitely easier to entertain, in my opinion.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The F's have gone away by the time they've turned 40.
Yeah.
Therefore, they are well into their no F's given phase of life.
And they don't give an F when they're 4 either.
Well, I will say, and not to drag this out, but I will say, I asked my dad this same question because he loves to talk to the kids and he loves to talk to the elderly. And I said, Dad, what is that about? Because I noticed. He said, you can always teach something to babies. You will always learn something from elders.
That's right.
That's good stuff.
Peace to Coach Hale. All right. So, on that level, today's show was all about red flags.
How many have you seen in your lifetime?
Ooh, heap of them.
Listen, enough to know that they're a red flag, at least.
Right.
At very least. So, I mean, going into that conversation, what makes you, like, is it a spidey sense? Is it something that says, oh, I don't like this? Like, what can we define what a red flag is?
I don't like it. Pineapples.
Ooh,
I quit.
safe word.
Pineapples?
Need that. Safe word.
Okay.
Okay.
We gonna wrap
Problematic behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. To me,
Unpack that. What's problematic behavior?
Where there's a lot of levels of like for me, being a hairstylist, I have noticed red flags, like even sometimes with a consultation on the phone.
Really?
You'll
What that
already
look like?
know. Well, because it's like they're already not going to be happy before you get there because nobody has made them happy already.
That's right.
Okay, that's the red flag. If somebody tells
mark
me
customer,
no one has made them happy yet.
So are you saying the customer is a bad customer?
I'm not saying that they're a bad customer, but what I'm saying is I already know that it's going to be a hard time when they get here.
Yeah.
They're going to be hard to please. They've already said that no one has made them happy. So if nobody's made them happy, I'm just another human.
I feel sad for them.
Ooh, you're a vessel. You're a vessel.
Right. So
that's it. That's all you can do is give what you have.
Right. Now, and some of those people I have still work with, and they have either left happy or acted like they, I have one client that she's like never happy, but until she gets home, and then she calls me back to say, I want that same thing again, but she's not happy while she's there.
She's the next day lasagna client.
Yeah.
Wow.
She probably got to hear somebody
later.
tell her she cute, and then she be like, all right, I like it.
That's that.
Right.
That's that. Because sometimes you need a moment to marinate.
Yeah.
What do you define a red flag?
You give me this awkward feeling.
What does that mean?
I'm very in tune with how I feel. And if something happens and I feel weird, that's a red flag for me. And because I do believe that feelings don't lie, and I feel like I'm a very logical woman. And if I have a weird feeling, I need to express that. And it's sometimes those things where those red flags pop up, I'm like, And I had that moment, am I tripping? So I always find out one friend or person to go to, and I tell them my whole story. My stories be so long, y'all, because I tell what I did and what they did and everything.
The stories be lit, though.
Oh, yeah, the story.
I'm going to sit back and eat my popcorn and listen.
Yes, because I tell them myself.
But that's intuition.
I do. And and it's
intuition or bubble guts.
Feeling. Yeah, one of them, because I get both. So, But
how do we know one from the next?
Right. It's just the inner feeling that I have, and I'm like, you know what? I don't think this should be like this. And, I may have a friend or a family member that I consult, or I'll just be like, hey, that ain't right. And that'd be my red flag for me. I go by body language, tone, and words.
I just so happen to have a decent amount of emotional intelligence because I've been through enough
Those eyebrows.
enough therapy in my
Book
life.
to read, by the way.
Emotional. What book is that?
Emotional Intelligence 2.0 is a great book to read.
Who's it by?
I don't know, but it's a great book to read.
Emotional Intelligence
I can't
2.0. Look that thing up.
I can't remember the author.
By all means, and look up emotional intelligence in general, because at the end of the day, we are all looking for a better way to relate to one another, right?
Yeah,
and so
right.
intelligence and emotions will help us to say, I understand Lovely, I understand Keela, I understand Toy, and here I am understanding you the viewer, because at the end of the day, we are trying to relate to you. So, being that as it is, for me, red flags. I personally have gone through a lot of different kind of relationships. A whole lot of different kind of relationships, and I have had to question myself, like, how do I keep returning to the same kind of relationship that I know I don't want? And it's come to my understanding that the healing comes in addressing the moments of the factor, not the overall arching, like, oh, it's okay, I can let this pass. So maybe those are the red flags for me. I'm in a weird place in my life right now where I'm learning what red flags should really be. So this show is like great for me, and I hope it's great for you. And with all of that, we're gonna go ahead and get into celebrity gossip.
What juice you got?
What you got?
How juicy is the juice?
So I got an AI red flag for y'all, okay? AI,
red flag.
artificial intelligence, okay?
Ooh. Okay.
So it's popping up all across social media, entertainment, and everything. A lot of the music artists are like, they going crazy about it because there's honestly no way to control it. Basically, with AI, you can take someone's voice and put it over someone, and you could take someone's voice and make it say something that they did not say, basically, in layman's terms. So, Drake, he is on our spotlight for celebrity gossip today because there was a song that was put out with him rapping to Ice Spice's Munch.
I don't know what Munch
Or Ice Spice,
and I don't know
maybe.
who Ice Spice
After
is.
you hear the song, you'll know what I'm...
lost.
Basically, he
I
eat
hope we
a
don't
munch.
lose no younger viewers. Please don't judge us.
Please.
Okay, so for the viewers, I'm not gonna say older, but for the viewers who are not aware of what a munch is, it's
Or Ice
basically
Spice.
an eater, someone who likes to indulge in special attention. That's what we're
That's
saying.
Cunnilingus.
That's the word of the day, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cunnilingus. If you are a cunnilingualist.
So
Yes,
Ice
that's
Spice
fine.
is a new viral rapper, female rapper who's out, and she's making her way across mainstream. But she has a song called Munch, and she raps it and everything. But there is a cover out with Drake singing to those exact lyrics. So
Wait. Let me ask you a question. So, Ice Spice has a song about cunnilingus.
the song is saying, "Oh, you thought I was feeling you? A munch."
Oh.
Okay,
So-
I'll be that what it is, and then Drake's voice.
Is saying those exact words.
So therefore, that I'm not gonna paint the picture. Go
He
ahead.
said, "I'm a baddie. I get what I want."
Hey,
The
listen.
thing is, Drake did not sing this song. It was all AI. And he is trying to get it removed from social media, the internet, and everything. There are multiple songs out now with celebrities now making songs that they did not do. So AI is definitely becoming a problem for our music artists. There's a song out now currently with Drake and The Weeknd. They never recorded a song together. So
Drake and The Weeknd
That's
never
crazy.
did.
No.
Anywho, so red flags have been defined. Red flags have been talked about, and this is definitely one of those red flag moments where it's like
Red flag on the AI.
on AI, and we are not talking about Allen Iverson because that's my era. I just can't relate. But I'm trying to.
Yeah.
But you have younger sons, so you might be able to connect the two.
My younger sons are like really into the old school, and I'm not even sure why. They like stuff that older than some of the stuff that I'm listening to.
What?
And he keeps on talking about some Lucky Peterson and he's listening to jazz and all types of other stuff.
Ooh,
one has
Detroit.
a high top fade and the other one has the Woodrow. I mean, they have their own thing. They're not even into what most kids are into. So
Well,
Beautiful though.
yeah.
well,
So
that's real.
That's
real.
why I'm not keeping up with all some of the young stuff. But I'm trying to keep up, so I can know what's going on.
That's fair. And you know what? Not to be funny, but Ice Spice and Drake and everything else. And Drake is from literally, like, I remember Drake did a song called Bria's Song. Drake has repeated this behavior over and over for centuries.
Drake always sings about his crushes and girls, like Kiki, Do you love me?
Do you riding? Listen, if
Now,
it's
you know
not
Kiki
broken,
I'm
is,
sensing a red flag here.
I heard that
Ooh.
Kiki is Kim Kardashian's nickname for him. Like,
I heard that before.
right.
Well, if you heard it, you might have knew
And
it.
he got a new song out called Rescue.
I ain't want to gossip.
And you know Kim's voice is on that song, and she says, "I didn't come this far to be unhappy."
Talking about old Kanye though.
I didn't come this far to
It's
be
a lot of
unhappy.
juice around Drake.
I've definitely heard that before.
Yeah.
So let's get into these red flags. Let's just talk about the red flags that we absolutely need to pay attention to while we're dating. And everything is subjective. Everything is your own thing. What personally I've learned in this situation is when you are in a situation and you feel something, that spidey sense that you speak to, that's a real thing. That's an actual thing. That's not just some feeling that you have. That's not crazy notion that you feel. That's an actual, factual, this ain't for me. So that's, for me, what the definition of a red flag is. There are some very general categories of what this looks like. I'm going to start. Gaslighting. That's number one. Definition of gaslighting. Anybody?
Ooh wee.
We were just talking about this. Come on.
So,
Throw it out
Keela,
there on the
I
table.
feel
Throw
like-
it out there.
Do we need an example or do we need a definition or both?
Example.
A little bit of
Because gaslighting sounds weird. When I hear gaslighting, I think of like Victorian era in the front yard and there is a gaslit lamp.
That's actually
that
where gaslighting started from.
Really?
It started from like way back many years ago when they needed the lanterns. And when men wanted their wives, when she was acting out, they would gaslight her. So they would put the lantern somewhere and she would think that something was flickering with the lights when actually he had put it there. And then they would all of a sudden say that she needed to go to the mental hospital because she was seeing things. So gaslighting is a real thing from back in the day of men trying to make women think that they were crazy. And so it
Master manipulators.
So it
This is what
folds
we're dealing
over
with.
to
Master
today
manipulators.
where
Is that what this
someone
is?
might, they might be too controlling, but they make it look like it's in your best interest.
So you want to stick around.
Yeah.
I call it Ike Turnerism. That's what I call it. Ike Turnerism.
Come on, rolling on the river. Tell us about that.
Okay.
Because what's love got to do
Come
with
on,
it?
Nut Bush.
Okay.
But no, for real, like, with me, gaslighting is making it seem like something is one way, like how Keela said, when it's really another. Like, we were talking earlier. Guy comes over, brings you a bottle of wine. You drink the bottle of wine. Oh, my God, you drunk all that? Well, what was it? It was supposed to be sitting on the table just looking pretty. Like, that's not what it's here for.
Or was that
Even
a
though
test?
he halfway drunk it with you.
Exactly.
Okay. They want to make you feel like you're an alky or something. Or,
Right.
Make you think you should buy another bottle, maybe.
Gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation in which the abuser attempts to sow self-doubt and confusion in their victim's mind. Typically, gaslighters are seeking to gain power and control over the other person by distorting reality and forcing them to question their own judgment and intuition. AKA, if you tell somebody that they're doing something wrong and they try to make you feel bad for telling them that you did something wrong or try to turn everything into you did something wrong, they are gaslighting your ass. When you light gas, you know what happens? Explosion. So quit playing with fire. This has been a definition sponsored by Whole Ass Podcast. Season 2 coming soon.
Toy has come up with a wonderful game for us about red flags. So go ahead with your red flag rapid fire that we are all waiting to hear.
So,
I love games.
I decided to take I decided to take it to social media, and I asked people that are my friends and followers on social media what were some situations or scenarios that they had that, brought up concerns or red flags to them. And they decided to send this information in anonymously to me.
Take your time.
Right, that word.
Yes.
And, they sent their situations in. It's pretty juicy, so we're just going to go ahead and get into it, all right?
Ooh, juicy
Come
red
on with
flag.
the
Yes.
juice. That's what
So-
I'm talking
They're
about.
like
with the
tomato
juicy juice.
status
Yes.
juice.
Right. Juicy juice on Wick. All right, so, our first responder sent in her scenario, and she says, I don't have any children, but I'm dating someone, and they have children from a previous relationship, but they have a healthy co-parenting relationship with the other parent. They actually are really good friends, and my cousin brought it to my attention saying that the only reason that they're getting along is because they're still messing around. His baby mama has a boyfriend, and they're friends on social media. They never argue, and they joke around a lot with each other, and their families love each other. I actually got a chance to meet her, and she was super nice to me. He says that she's like one of the homies to him. And I know I probably sound crazy, but I don't particularly care for how close they are. And now that my cousin has said what they said, should I be concerned? Is it a red flag, y'all, or no?
I co-parent, and
please,
I'm sorry.
Come on.
You know, quickly, I co-parent, and that can be okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't have to be still into it. Right. You know, they can be like relatives, you know, like my baby daddy-in-law.
It doesn't have to be ugly just because you're not bumping uglies.
The red flag is the cousin.
So Sabrina has a red flag, though. Okay,
the
what's
red
your
flag
opinion?
is the cousin. The cousin is the issue.
The cousin is the red flag.
The cousin is the issue. Red flag on the cousin. There you go.
Red flag on the cousin.
Get my shit back. Get my shit back.
No, but real talk, it's a half a red flag for me. That's why I kind of hit you with the I personally think that you got to believe what people tell you. And if you're in love with someone, you're in a relationship with someone, then that means that you got to believe what they tell you. Otherwise, it's no trust.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. My bad.
Definitely don't let me finish. So you got to believe what they tell you and put your faith in that. However, allow room for error. Allow them to know that I'm going to trust you on this, but allow that space to know that it could be some BS lurking. That's what the half is about.
Yeah.
You just never know, because at the end of the day, how can you know? How can you know? Oh, this is what it is. All they can do is tell you.
I mean, if she
I ain't
hasn't
concerned
seen
about
anything,
it.
I feel with Lovely, like your cousin is a red flag in a sense. Like, you don't really want to assume anything or make any bad blood with a situation, and don't create a problem that potentially does not exist until you actually see something.
Right.
Then go off of it. But if you don't have anything to go off of, let a good thing be a good thing. I think a lot of us are just used to toxicity.
That
part.
We think like, oh, you can't be happy, you can't get along. And it doesn't always have to be that way. I get what both of you guys are saying. I don't have kids, so it's kind of different in my situation. But I can't assume anything until I actually see it.
Okay.
All right, so
what you got next?
Our next,
what else?
Our next anonymous sender. This is a gentleman that sent something in. He says, I've been dating this chick and she's cool as hell, but recently we were sitting around talking about past relationships, and she told me about a bad breakup. I understand that everybody has a bad breakup, but what got to me is that she said she broke into his house afterwards and vandalized it. I'm big on respecting people's property. So now I'm looking at her different despite her reasoning for it. Should I be concerned about my burglar bae?
Yeah, we're gonna throw
No. Okay, like it's Eastern Parkway on Labor Day. Wave your flag.
Yes, ma'am.
That's absolutely a hell no.
So it doesn't matter why she broke in. What if it was a situation like, I stole my stuff, Jody?
No.
I mean, you say vandalism. I mean, did she have stuff there? I mean, like, why did she vandalize? I mean,
that he did not provide much detail
What do you
on.
need a
So
why for? Keep your hands off of other people's stuff.
Yeah, because he did say despite the reasoning, so he didn't go into the detail about what the reason was or anything like that. But in his eyes, he's probably looking at, hey, she could do this to me. So, you know, I get it. If you got nice things, you don't want him. You don't want him touched, brother.
Maybe she was telling him that to give him like a little.
You think it was a warning?
It's a warning. Like, mess with me if you want to. I'm gonna come to you.
It could be a 3/4 flag, because I've done things.
What did you say?
I'm gonna fracture my flags when it's necessary. So
I feel like it's okay to steal your things back.
It's not, because the law don't see it that way, and I know for a fact, not personally.
We ain't
However,
the law on this.
the point I'm making is when it comes down to it, sometimes you do things that you'll never do again. And I know for a
That
fact
means
that
don't
there are some
return to
things
the
I
scene of
will
crime.
not do this again. That wasn't the
I
right
agree.
decision.
And some things you keep to yourself also. So I mean, when
Right.
I mean, this is a new relationship.
Okay.
Don't
You
tell him. Don't
you
tell
ain't
him.
got the man yet. You might have should have kept
She
that.
done scared the brother off.
Right. You should
Okay.
keep that to yourself. You know,
That's a
till
whole
you
nother
get the
show.
man.
When
you
do
know.
you talk?
Yeah.
Right. When do you stop?
When do you got him?
After you already all in.
Okay, so our last
Right.
one. This
Come
is
on,
pretty
come on,
juicy,
come on,
y'all.
come on,
Okay.
I like
Come on,
So,
juicy.
I like this.
our last anonymous sender said,
Strawberries.
I recently started dating this guy and the chemistry is amazing. But due to previous relationships, there's something I noticed and I'm not sure if it's a red flag or not. Our first 2 dates were kind of chill. We just watched movies and chilled at his crib and talked all night. For the third date, he promised that we would go out to eat to a fancy restaurant. When I got to his place, I was disappointed to see that we were not actually going anywhere. Instead, he had cooked steak and lobster with asparagus and wine. I appreciate the effort, but I was looking forward to going out and I was dressed for it. Should I be concerned about him not keeping his word as a man?
The concern is her. She is the red
She
flag.
the red flag.
She
If
is
you're
the red
tossing it around,
flag.
lovely, she the red-
How are you upset that this man
Yeah.
cooked a meal for you?
Mm-hmm.
Go sit down. Go in the corner. You on time out. She can get one of those. Give that to her. I'm through with her.
What you
ass
got,
right now.
Okila?
I mean, like, well, are you going out afterwards? Maybe because I get maybe if she got all dressed up, okay, to go to
If you got dressed
somewhere.
up, let me undress you after I done made you this meal. What is you
But
saying?
the question are they at that point
part,
yet?
that part.
But see,
Hey.
Y'all got it messed up. Y'all got
But
it
see,
messed
but
up.
what
I'm
if they
sorry.
not
No.
at that part yet?
Yeah.
If
It's
you
the third
never,
date. It's
if
the
you
third date.
it's the third date. If you haven't went there yet and you've gotten all dressed up, so I think there's nothing wrong with the dinner. Like that's fine. We don't have to go to the expensive, but at least are we gonna go out afterwards? Like, will we go dancing?
No.
Will we
How-
go to the
how
movies
about-
or
No.
or did you tell me to dress up though?
How about you dress up for me?
know-
Be sexy for me. Why do we have to go out of the house? Do this for me. I'm doing this for you. Do this for me.
What you got,
I'll
Sabrina?
take your shoes off. I'll rub your feet. What's
Okay, that's not.
But
bad.
you be rubbing stuff. Feet and such. Not everybody
She's a
rub
professional
things.
rubber.
Now,
y'all. Good.
now,
She's
I
a
am a
professional
professional
rubber.
rubber.
Not only fans
that's
rubber,
true.
but
She's a-
professional. You could.
Well, I ain't got paid for the OnlyFans yet. I mean, what
You could
is
book
that?
her. Look,
Okay,
what's your-
all right.
shameless plug,
I say, let's go
Submerge.
ahead and fold the red flags up on both because
Thank
it's
you.
nothing wrong with wanting to be taken out to a nice dinner.
Okay.
There's also nothing wrong with wanting to present a nice dinner. I think
Yeah.
that there's a mismatch of expectation on that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Expectation.
I would be very happy to dress up and come to a man's house for him to cook me lobster and steak, and then other things would get eaten or not.
Yes.
And when it comes down to it,
Yes.
when it comes down to it,
It's a flag, but it ain't bread.
I'm looking for the overall experience. I'm not just looking for that
Flag.
moment because you never know what that'll lead to. And I care about effort.
I
Thank you.
totally agree.
If
with
you
that.
can't cook, you better damn well be taking me somewhere
Effort.
good.
It's kind of like
Even
my,
if you can't cook.
my opinion on it is a mixture
I appreciate
between
the
a few of y'all's because something that she did say is that he promised me that we were going out. So her concern is him keeping his word.
But words don't mean shit. It's about action.
Well, it depends because and she mentioned previous relationships. Maybe she's somebody who
But she's projecting at that point.
was dealing with a situation where she was always told something
bad.
and then that person not keeping their word
me
what
not.
they say. So I feel like with her, it's more so sticking to what you're saying. You're gonna do what you're saying you're gonna do. I love men to cook. I would never have a problem with a man cooking for me at his home. He may not want to eat too much if he made asparagus, though. We all know what that does to
Okay,
the body.
I don't want to eat
smell it.
asparagus. I don't want to eat
smell it.
asparagus.
You know what that does to the body. You
That's
know?
right.
But lovely held back. I don't want you to hold back. What you got?
What? About what?
You said nah. What was that about?
Because Lovely
It's
just has
just-
a difference
it's
of
just-
opinion, and it's okay.
Yeah,
and that's what we're here for.
It's the expectation. Stop
Okay.
expecting people to be exactly what it is that you want them to be. Allow that
hello?
person to be who they are and enjoy them in that realm.
That's right.
And
Take the expectation out of
Or
it. You
don't.
might enjoy the
Exactly.
motherfucker
Or
a whole lot
don't.
more.
Exactly. I agree with that. There are people, let's not exclude the fact that there are people out in the world who live double lives, though.
Yes.
And unfortunately, my personal experience, I have experienced that before. So I'm not saying you have to take me to a fancy restaurant, but we gonna go in public and be seen somewhere together,
Hello?
okay?
I mean,
Because
yeah.
just in
Do
case.
you know how long it takes me to get ready? How I would get ready to come to your house for dinner is a little different than how I'm going to get ready to go out for the evening. You know, don't
see,
have
not
me
for
put
me.
on my. Well, see, see for me, like I would
That's so
probably wear
superficial.
something
I'm
I've
gonna do
worn
both.
before.
But here's
you
the
know,
thing,
or whatever.
Here-
You know,
here-
like
here's the thing, and
superficial.
we got to wrap this up. At the
Okay.
end of the day, for me, I want you to see me looking bad and crazy and
Either
great
way.
and etc. Because I might go out and there is nobody there, and
And it ain't for them anyway.
Exactly. And so, okay, I think this is an amazing spot to hold and pause, and we will be right back with Every Woman.
Hey, has this been your podcast studio experience? Has the location been less than favorable?
No, I can't do this.
Come to Every Media, where quality matters, located in Royal Oak, Michigan. Visit every.media.
Welcome back to the Every
That's
Woman Show.
EVRY.media.
Welcome back to Every Woman, and true to our name, we have another Every Woman with us today. Our girl Heather J. Hey, extraordinaire. Yes, welcome. And we are still talking about red flags, okay? Flags on the plate. And Heather J has a very good perspective about that. So we're going to go right into it. What is a dating deal breaker for you?
Oh, wow. So many. Oh, how much time is the show? I don't like guys that okay, so this used to get me back in the day. I'm kind of in a relationship right now. Guys, stop. Okay. I know, don't be jealous. But when I was out in those streets, I didn't like when men would try to connect with me over kids. Like a lot of times guys will try to connect over your kid, and then they'll try to instantly be like a dad to your kid. And it's like, hey, we're good over here. Get to know me. I don't need to meet you. And the next day you whipping my son. You know what I mean? Like I don't
Really,
like.
your son.
You'd be surprised how many guys would start a
We discuss
conversation.
discipline first.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how many guys. Because I had a son. I'm a boy mom, and immediately they'd be like, "Oh, you got a son? Yeah, he needs his ass beat. He need a man." It's like wait a minute. Like,
Where'd you
wait
come
a minute.
from?
Yes. The first thing they want to do is discipline your son. That's an immediate red flag. Because I'm like, you don't even know my kid. You don't even know what he needs. I feel like that's what
I'll
you
give
think.
you that. I'll
Okay,
give that.
thanks, guys. Hey, appreciate it.
No,
I
you
think
don't
that's
get to discipline my son and raise him.
I mean, you haven't even met him yet. I get it. Some boys probably do need a man's hand, but you haven't met this
And
kid
how
yet.
did he know he gonna make it to that point where he even get to meet him?
I think I think it's a pickup line for some men because they know some women are really like, oh, I need help with my kids, and so they're kind of playing that game.
So we on the first date and let me whoop your son.
And the first thing you say to me is, oh yeah, he needs some discipline. I know what boys need. And it's like, okay, not my perfect baby prince, not the sweetest little man. I don't know. I don't know.
Is
What
that
you
what
thinking
mothers
of?
think about their
That's
son?
what I don't. That my son.
Your son.
Okay.
Was the little prince on the
Okay.
day he was born, and he still is. He's a grown man. But the the other one is still kid related. When I don't hear their kids in the background enough, that's a huge red flag for me.
Yeah.
That's I need to because when you're an active parent, you know the sounds. You know the hold on, get you know that. And I'm not hearing any fighting. I'm not hearing any. I gotta call you back, babe, because these kids. It's just I don't
That's 'cause he
hear.
ain't got him.
Where are the kids? Where are the kids, sir? And that just and every man,
too available.
And the men I know that have been great dads, you always get to, let me call you back. I got my son, or hold on, let me deal with this, babe. I'll call you back because kids need attention, and they're you have to give them that attention. So those are the two because I was a super mom, so I definitely was like whoever comes over here has to match my parenting.
Yeah. Now, have you ever had to deal with somebody doing fake parenting? Like, have y'all ever had to deal with that? Like, oh, I've witnessed people lying, saying like, oh, I gotta go get my kids, and they just went home and watched Power. Like, yeah, it's a thing.
It's
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, there are men that exploit the kids to get because women are definitely dads are hot. You know what I mean? So guys know that. Oh, I got a little girl. This my little girl. But you're not saying the part that you haven't seen her in 3 months.
That's crazy. I was used. I was a pawn. I was a pawn when I was a kid.
Okay.
My cousins used me. We would go to the grocery store and stuff when I was a kid, and they would be like, "Oh yeah, that's my little cousin right there. Ain't she cute?" And that's how you get the girls.
Yeah, a cute kid goes a long way.
Yeah.
But some moms exploit their cute kids too. Because
I agree.
a single mom in a grocery store with a cute little boy, everybody stop. Oh, that's your little man. Oh, that's your little man. Oh, that's, you know.
Keep his hair cut.
Okay, so I have a question, right?
Okay.
So you're a comedian. Mm-hmm. So do you use personal experiences? As I didn't even get the whole question.
I'm not making up stories. I'm not Dr. Seuss. No, I'm using the stuff that happened to me.
So give me some meat. Give me some meat on a red flag that you've used while you were on stage. Give me some meat.
Okay, so this is actually
I don't even think I should be asking you that.
A joke. Give me meat. Pause.
That's a red
Anyway.
flag.
I told red flag on myself for that one. My bad.
Give me the meat.
Doing the good stuff.
I have a joke that's actually on Instagram. That's why I don't mind talking about it. Where I talk about dating older men and how it's complicated because older men are kind of mean.
Yes.
Are they?
Oh my God.
Rufus don't play.
Julius.
Yeah.
Both of them names.
I've never dated an older white man, so I can only speak to the black experience. But to me, when black men turn like 45, 50, they mad at everything.
Yes.
They always fussing. And I had an older gentleman. At the time, he was older than me. I mean, he was older to me. And he took me out, and all he did was just fuss and complain.
Oh, wow.
Literally everything. This man was mad at, don't touch my car. Don't sit right there. Don't step on my grass. Oh my God.
Get on my
And I was talking to my sister about it. I have an older sister, and I was talking to her about it, and she was like, "Oh yeah, they're the worst, right?"
The old man syndrome.
So then she began to kind of we began to bounce it off of each other. We were just making each other laugh at different things that men have said to her and me. And then I sat there and I was like, "Oh, that's a joke." And then I just took it on stage and said it just like that. And then in the video, there's an old black man in the audience. And so my bit is they won't let you touch anything in their car. And they'll put the seatbelt on for you. It's like you gotta sit in the car like this. And this guy's like, "That's right. That's right. That's right." And I was like, validation.
So is that a deal breaker?
Oh, I don't want nothing but some money. I'm telling you, I'm not. I don't date older men.
Okay, but have you ever reneged on a deal breaker?
Are you asking me if I ever dated a broke guy? Yeah.
I think we all been there.
Well,
we all reneged.
Right.
Yeah. Because, sometimes the rules are just, those are like the parameters we give ourselves to protect ourselves. It's all protection. We're just trying to protect ourselves. Yeah, a guy could break the bond. He could cross the wall and get into your defenses, get through, and now you're like, oh, okay. You're here now. You're here.
See, for me, I'm a taller woman. I'm 5'11" and a half or 6 foot, depending on the day.
She's a stallion.
Okay, thank you, Toya. Yes, Toya Stallion too. But long story.
Shetland pony.
It's a pony.
Shetland pony.
It's a pony. So
miniature.
I love my girl, I guess, because we always together and tall. Anyway, long story short. So for me, one of my standards is I don't need or I don't desire a man shorter than me. And I actually married a man my exact same height. So to me, that is kind of a deal breaker, but not really a deal breaker. But at the same time, what's a shallow deal breaker?
Oh, a shallow deal breaker is hairline.
No, it's not.
Look at
No, it's not.
Look at the cameraman
No,
over there
it's
feeling
not. It's
self-conscious.
not. Because you need to be honest about your hairline and do what you need to do about that hairline. If you want to be bald, be bald. But
don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, Crosby. Don't do that. don't make me feel bad.
All dudes are sexy too. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everybody got their
time. Don't hold on
Rock
to what you don't have, though.
Yeah, I like hair. I'm very shallow. Very shallow. I think it's. I'm kind of a celebrity, so I feel like
come on, celebrity.
Honesty is good.
I get to get baddies.
You better choose.
What?
You better choose and not be chosen.
That's
right. That's right.
Y'all see her video? She said go do some sit-ups.
Yeah.
Okay. Toy, you better tell them.
Yeah, so the kind of guy I like, the ideal guy for me, the tall, the height, all that, whatever. Yeah. I've dated, but it didn't work because I'm not turned on. And if mama's not happy.
That's right.
Nobody's.
See, guys think they want it. Like, they want to wear you down. But then when it's like, okay, you got me, but I'm not turned on. So, what you going to do with this cold piece of ass right here? You know what I mean? What you going to do now?
What are you gonna
What are we going to do now?
Cold piece of ass.
You want it? You want it? But what did you win, bro? What did you really win?
Okay.
When he get to the prize.
No, see, you have your own status and your own like poise as a comedian.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think your BS is called out more harshly than your partner?
And what do you mean? Like, being called out as far as what?
Like, for example, let's say, you know, your BS. Oh my goodness. What
Are you saying
in
that
other words, your red flags?
Oh,
Yes.
do I?
You giving red flags.
Do you feel like you being more harsh on him by calling out his BS since you're a comedian? Like, are you more blunt?
Oh,
Do you feel
does
like
it
the
hurt
next
more?
person-
Does it stab harder?
Probably.
Yeah, but I think there's an expectation that I'm going to be bitchy.
Yeah.
So I always get guys, it's like, I know you go, and it's like, no, I really just want to enjoy the meal like any other woman.
Exactly.
So sometimes I think, yeah, I do. Sometimes I think they expect me to be mean when it's like, no, it's a day. I like you. I want to,
Everybody think they gonna talk about you, like you're gonna talk about them on stage. Like, I might and I might not.
I mean, that's gonna happen. Let's be real. That's gonna happen.
and
But if I was a sculptor or a painter, nobody would be, I bet you're going to paint a picture. Of course I'm going to paint a picture of you. You're my muse.
Exactly.
So
the
it's like, yeah,
inspiration
yeah.
is what's before me. And truth be told,
Now, humiliate you, I don't have to do that, but there's going to be some humor.
Yes.
Of course.
because there's a
It's a
level,
difference.
there's a
Yeah,
line.
because I'm thinking about you, and you're inspiring me. Hopefully, you're inspiring me. I just think people think of it.
Has there ever been a situation where you have offended somebody you were in a relationship with because of your art?
Oh my God, yes. They can't handle it.
Woo!
They
think
can't handle
but
it.
They can't.
You can't take the heat. Get your ass out
It
the kitchen.
takes a
They
lot.
don't know they in the kitchen. They think they in the living room.
I think every professional,
You ain't here.
I think they think it's going to be one thing. Like, I think every professional entertainer will tell you when we date, men and women, all of us, they see the glory. They see I get to walk in on the red carpet, or I'm going to be VIP backstage. They don't see the work that it takes to get there. It's like,
There's
in
a
order for
price.
me to, you want me to headline the club, that's great, because then you can tell all your friends. But in order for me to do that, I got to go to open mic night, and I got to work this jokes out,
Exactly.
which means I might say some shit you don't like in the process of working it out, or the audience might love it and you hate it, but I got to keep it because it's working. You know, so it's like this is all part of the package, guys. It's all part of the package of dating a professional entertainer.
So is that a red flag though? Like when
Hell yeah.
Okay then.
Hell yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Oh my God. I have broke up with guys during the show.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's like,
on
okay.
stage like
Some of them
Yeah, like, no, I mean, we're sitting, waiting to go up, and he's talking too much. He's just saying too much, and I'm just like, okay, so in my mind, I'm like, we're done.
Yeah.
We're done.
So
Because
you
I'm not.
use him as a catalyst in your set?
No. Not me personally. I know some people that would, though. That's not how I write. But I have to mentally turn him off because I don't want him to upset me. Because if I'm upset,
that's real.
then
That's real.
it's going to affect
Oh, yeah,
my performance.
Because like when
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
seeing
I
what
actually-
they're doing in the audience, and sometimes people do too much in the audience. Like
It's a lot of stuff that and women clown different from men at shows. So I've seen my friends bring girls, and I'm like, she's not gonna make it, bro.
So who's worse, men or women?
Women,
As comedians.
women try to grab focus for themselves. So you'll see the girl, you'll see her jumping up in everybody's face trying to take a picture, or you'll see see her like, you can't talk to any other women in the room, and it's like, I'm at work, like I can't not talk to the other women in the room. Men
That's a red flag.
will be they'll be a little more subtle, but it might be something like, so you just gonna hug all them dudes? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
I'm
don't let
gonna
a dude
hug.
buy a drink for you. Oh
Yes.
God.
Or talk to you too long.
Yeah.
But it's like, he's
Men
a
are
fan.
passive-aggressive.
He's a
If you
fan.
didn't
Came
know.
out, this guy came out. He came to me. He asked for a picture. I gotta take the picture because this is somebody that's supporting my work. So I'm not. I can't be like, oh, with my boyfriend, and he doesn't let me talk. I can't do that because I'm at work.
Not at all.
That's right.
I could do that when we're anywhere else, but not at work. So I have a rule. No hoes at shows. That's just my rule.
hoes at shows.
That
No
was
hoes
my
at
question.
shows.
Like, do
Use
you allow
that
them to come
moving
to shows?
forward. No hoes at shows.
I want to make
Period.
it known I'm making eye contact right now. And I do that from time to time. No hoes at shows. Please continue.
I mean, if you guys were here filming and your boyfriend said, "Can I come watch?" No. Because
But
I'm
that's
at
not a
work.
hoe.
No, the hoes are the hoes. The hoes is everybody that fall under the category of hoes. It's the
I mean,
husbands, the
well,
boyfriends, everybody is the
well.
hoes.
I don't look at boyfriend as hoe.
Oh, he the hoes.
Yeah, he
I'll-
knows.
All right.
Yo
All
ho.
right.
Yo ho. Yeah, he the hoes. So yeah, the hoes is just a generic term that just means whoever you're messing with. You know, it
Fair.
doesn't. Yeah, you know. So obviously it's egregious, but I'm egregious. So
Okay.
yeah. So when I say that, I just mean no. It takes a lot. If you see me walk in the show with a boo, oh no, we together.
You're
together.
serious,
Like,
That's like
Yeah.
that's like you posting them
This ain't
online.
bring your
like,
child
this
to work
is
day,
bad,
like,
that's his face,
He's
and
already
we
passed those
booed
tests.
up.
He already knows how to act because guys will. It's a male-dominated industry, as Toy will tell you. We see
It
these
is.
guys 3-4 nights a week. We're walking in.
They're gonna say certain
They're
things.
gonna talk to us.
like,
they're gonna
and
feel comfortable talking to us a certain kind of
you one
way.
of the homies.
And that's how we get down. That's our culture.
And you gotta have that
So,
homegirl mentality.
Yes.
And okay.
That's almost all entertainment, I think.
And that's
too.
all professional
Like
entertainment.
I stopped dating it. Like we were new. We had just started kicking it. I thought he was so nice. Had him come up to a show, and he showed his whole ass. First of all, he came in there dressed like Kevin Hart did he. That was the first strike.
I've never seen Kevin Hurt.
The great sweat cleanse, no draws.
We just know what he had on. He didn't have no drawers on.
It's expressing in the wind.
out here.
Excuse me.
Out there. Out there.
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, he didn't have
To
no
make
underwear
matters
on.
worse,
Yeah.
the woman that was hosting the event, he went on stage, he was talking, he stepped on one of my jokes. That was strike 2 and a half.
Stepped on my daggone joke.
Then the lady who was hosting the show came and told me he done smacked her on the ass. Oh boy, you done. You
Sound
done.
messy. Sound messy. Now,
And ever since then, I have
Yeah, it
never.
does.
I did invite a guy after that, but he was so calm. I knew he was safe. But I definitely don't invite guys that I'm like dating out to a show.
Calm men are weed smoking unicorns. That's all I'm gonna say about that. So quick, because we got like 4 minutes. So do's and don'ts. Speed questions from you, Miss Heather. Are you ready? Everybody, get your red flag.
I thought we were
Do's and don'ts. Speed questions. Are we ready?
We're gonna keep going. Okay. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Okay.
Well, you already answered one of mine
'cause
about
he
bringing
said-
a guys to a comedy show. Basically, when you meet a guy for the first time, let's say he doesn't know who Heather J is.
What?
He must have been living under a rock. That's the first red flag.
That's a red flag already.
But let's be real. What if somebody?
It's
What if he's
me,
just somebody
bitch.
who just really isn't into the like
That's
comedy
fine.
world?
No,
You know.
yeah, everybody doesn't know.
Do you make it a point to explain to him who you are, or just let him really get to know you?
No, I don't. If he doesn't know who I am, I don't want him to. Because if he does, he already has a preconceived notion based on what he sees or based on what I present. So he's gonna think he knows me. I hate when guys think they know me.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let him.
Don't know me.
You don't know me.
T.I.
So I'll let him. I'm gonna get to know him, but it's probably gonna come out subtly. It'll probably just be like, "Oh no, Heather J, don't do that," you know. And then the first time I go third person, he's like, "Hey, she's not like the other girls." You know what I mean? So wait, yeah. So
The
usually
other girls
the-
don't go third person. though.
yeah,
You
I go third. I go
person.
third person quite a bit.
that?
So it's stuff like that, or just when you like a guy, you tend to be a little giddy in a way that I'm not. So I got shit to do. So nothing comes before my work.
Exactly.
So he's used to a woman that would probably move some stuff around. Where I'm like, can't do it. Got to show.
I have yet to meet a guy who I would rather spend time with versus going to an open mic.
I mean, it's out there that good. You know what I mean? We're not gonna act like it's
Hey,
some,
baby, you gonna be there.
It's some it's some better than open mic. But what I'm saying is it's about discipline and commitment. This is my job. It'll be there. You know what I mean? So usually when they see how you move after a while, they can see something's off. I've lost a lot by the wayside just by the way I move. I haven't said a word. It's just I'm not prioritizing them the way they want me to in the beginning, because to me that's a level. Prioritizing is a level too.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got a question in comparison, and this is something that's just completely off the dome.
Okay.
As an entertainer, you are completely poised in who you are. You present yourself as Heather J. You step up on that stage and you do you. If you were a CEO and you present yourself this way, if you were an entrepreneur and you present your way, what is the commonality with all of that and the way you feel like dating is a challenge, potentially?
Drive, ambition, focus.
What's the problem?
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, I think, not to alienate the men, but I think sometimes men just really want to be the center of our universe.
And you brought
and ambitious women it grows, but they're not patient. Like, it takes a lot for me to move other things out of the way for you, because these other things have been standards and they've been much more rewarding.
It's about
like
purpose.
you said, we've had bad experiences. The job ain't never let me down the way a man has. You know what I mean? So unfortunately, we should be working through the trauma. We should be pushing past, what did you say, projecting.
Yes.
But unfortunately, we're human and we're imperfect. And sometimes it's just a default reaction to be like, not doing that again. Yeah. You know what I mean? So,
I would say men in cars been my biggest life letdowns.
Men in
cars. Yeah, men in cars.
I say
I still like them both.
Yeah, right. And still need them both, you know?
Yeah. I appreciate both of y'all.
But I kind of need a patient man. I know that. I need a man that's going to give me a minute.
I need a calm man. Period. But neither here nor there.
I need an understanding man.
Listen, we need a lot of things on this panel.
That's a song right there.
What you need? Come on, lovely. Tell me what you need.
Loving man.
Acceptance.
Amen.
I just need somebody
I am who I am.
all encompassing. Everything about my person. Don't try to change me. Don't try to finagle. Don't try to manipulate me into being something extra for you. If you like me and you love me, appreciate who I am, where I am, and where I'm coming from. And then we'll move along the way.
But you made a good point in the previous segment when you said sometimes you just have to accept a person for who they are and enjoy that experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was a really poignant thing. I connected with that because I believe in that. I believe in letting people be who they are.
Yeah, I appreciate people being down to earth. That's really, really important to me. Be who you are in front of me and behind me. That's important.
Oh, I like that.
And so 10 toes down, all
Be who you are
in the
behind
earth.
me.
Be who you are behind. So we're going to go ahead and wrap that up for the moment and head to this commercial break. We'll get right back to Every Woman. Okay, we're talking about red flags on social media. What are the things, because social media is a big deal. How we date, how we connect with one another, how we see each other. Because I know for a fact, when somebody says to me, oh, I'm trying to holler, I'm like,
Out of tongue.
Are you on Instagram? Because I'm gonna look you up and see what your lifestyle's about. So So let's get some red flags in general. Don't have to be social media, but just in very general. Red flags or green flags from the panel. And I will start with you, madam.
A red flag, especially on social media, I don't like when it says place of employment, true religion. He has pictures of money or just a whole bunch of pictures of weed and stuff. I don't care if you smoke, but just like pictures, true religion, of money, weed, and then it's like a whole bunch
why is that a red flag?
It is a red flag because what do you really do? Like what you really do? Like, and
he work at Foot
you're
Locker.
giving me I'm unemployed vibes, and it's like, and even if you are unemployed, like, what do you do? Like, are you an entertainer or anything like that? I also look at the posts that are made, like a whole bunch of see y'all females this, y'all females that. Like, I don't want that negativity, sir. Like, cause who hurt you? Like, so I'm looking at things like that. I don't sit on social media and bash men all day, and I would prefer to deal with a man who does not bash women all day. Like, we good on that. We good vibes over here.
Okay.
That's a red flag.
Heather J?
I agree with Toy and a lot of especially first thing in the morning.
Oh yeah.
It's like the first thing you did was wake up, eat a bowl of cereal, and go fuck these hoes. Like,
Banging on breakfast.
Wow, baby.
Okay. Started the day, sir. Like, that's how you started the
break
day.
your fast?
Right. Like, this is. You got some stuff you need to work out.
His mama pissed in his Cheerios.
Wow.
The word piss
That was
be
even
making me-
darker. Okay. If it couldn't get any darker, it just got darker. That's a red flag for me. I mean, it's not a person's fault if they attract a lot of women, but if it's a whole bunch of women, and all you get is interactions from women, I'm gonna think you a hoe.
That's
I'm
real.
gonna think you
That's
a
real.
hoe.
That's real.
Question:
Yeah.
Would you like a whole lot of interaction from men or women?
I would like to see a fair mix the way conversation works in real life. Like
Yeah.
like a person should have friends of both. Not it shouldn't be a whole bunch of women or a whole bunch of men. It should just be everybody should feel comfortable talking on your page. So if you're talking about things and men are not commenting, but it's only women, it's 300 women. Thirst traps are a red flag for me.
Yeah.
Because I feel like
Thirst traps.
yeah.
Define.
Nudity.
Ooh.
You know, yeah. The
You
guy,
can't be nude on your page without expecting somebody to like it.
yeah, like that's right. Like if you're in the gym and you're showing me like, oh, I'm bench pressing, I have my beater on, whatever. That doesn't bother me. But if you're just always like shirtless from the top up or whatever, or if you're always in the gym and we're never seeing results, that's a weird thing.
Wow.
What about the guys?
Like, you've been in the gym
Spit on
for
their
a
lips?
year, bro. You ain't lost a pound.
They might as well
Y'all
get
never
some
saw
lip
the guy
gloss.
with the extra spit on their lips?
Oh, the LL Cool
Yeah.
J.
You know what?
Yeah,
We are so
LL
past LL that unfortunately we not speaking to an audience that might even know who LL is right now.
watch
That's
NCIS.
what I love
They
him.
do. They
I
do.
love
really
him.
been
They
that
don't watch NCIS?
Keela, give me some red and give me some red flags. Social media.
Okay, social media. Well, like definitely one I would think is like I knew people where like they don't even follow guys. All they follow is women. Like so, they might have like just and then they all like the internet models. You know, or everybody's half naked because if you're checking somebody out, I'm sure you're gonna look at like who they follow or whatever. And if you see that their whole thing
Do a
is
full
just
investigation.
like
IG model,
halfway
IG model.
half naked women and the stuff that they're posting is always about butt or something. I think that's like
About butt.
She got
okay.
quiet. She said about
you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, all you see is just a lot of twerking and this and that, and it ain't they twerking. It's like they showing it because that's what they, or if they're on that type of thing, it's like what they're into.
kind of sleazy.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
like the sleazy stuff.
What are some red flags for you, Lovely?
So when the guy comes on your page and they're like, hey, yo, you're so beautiful. I would like to get to know you and blah, 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 blah. And what have you been doing? There is a whole story, sir. It says about me on social media. Why don't you read up on so then we can get past all of these basic logistics. Get out of my box. I'm not interested. Okay?
Pause. Get out of my box.
Get out of the box.
Okay.
Get out!
Get out of my box.
Get out!
For you.
You wouldn't invite it.
It wasn't meant for you.
So I have
That's
a secret with
period.
you guys. I have
share the
a
secrets.
male friend who revealed to me that him and a couple of other guys have a complete scripted dialogue that they send to women
Oh wow.
Lame.
when they first start talking to them. And they just copy and paste.
Oh wow.
And I tend to, I was like, I thought it was just me tripping. Like all these guys just all say the same thing. And this is honestly why a lot of females don't answer their inboxes because it's always the same thing. And then to hear from a man's mouth, oh yeah, we got a copy and paste chat.
Like the jail letters.
Yes.
Let me tell you about how that's
Like
a
the
green
pickup
flag.
artist?
What?
That's a green flag because I like a man about efficiency.
It is an efficiency.
Sort them out. Make a good message. And if they don't answer how you want to hear it, because there are a billion, trillion, zillion people on Instagram and all the social medias that you know. If you have a standard introduction and that person does not respond in a way that you feel is worthy of your time, I'm cool. So green
That sounds
flag.
like something they got from a dating coach, honestly. That sounds like something a man that specializes in helping men probably
they
came up with.
invested.
Yeah, that's what that
I
sounds
mean, they
like.
got
to me.
money.
In a way,
It's
consistency is key.
It's still kind of lame though.
Yeah.
It's not. It's disingenuous to me. That's
That's
what
fair.
it is. Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay.
Cooter, dryer, upper.
Well,
Dryer
let me
upper.
know the green flag, Cooter.
Okay. Hey. Okay. That's fun. The things that make you get a lot of mutual friends.
Okay, yeah.
I like that. 'Cause
Yeah.
that means you're established with people I kind of already mess
And
with.
I can check in on
And I
them.
do judge you based on who those mutual friends are. So
Some of my
so-
mutual friends hoes.
Yeah, so
And-
yeah,
yeah.
if you're friends with guys, I would never. But if
I'm
you're
like-
friends with guys I think are cool and awesome and amazing,
Yeah.
like if you were friends with our esteemed cameraman, I'd be like, oh, it's been a couple guys that inboxed me and they were friends with that cameraman right there. And I was like, oh, if you mess with Chris, you cool.
solid,
And I was,
yeah.
oh, you mess with Chris, you cool. So that's
Solid
a green
guy.
flag. I like to see, like I said before, I like to see pictures with the kids. I like to see that you have a normal, decent life. That's a green flag.
flags for the
And a little dick print from time to time.
It can be
It's called
subtle.
crotch watching.
It can be
A little
subtle.
bit of crotch watching.
You say the gray
I'll
pants?
take
I don't
gray
trust
sweatpants?
kid pictures though.
The
I
gray
don't. I don't
What you
trust
mean?
them
What
all
you
the
mean?
way
What you
because some of them is like that picture is 4 years old.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
so you know.
a current.
Yeah.
Like my friends that are good dads, you're watching the kids grow up
You
too. I
see
think
'em.
that's really cool when you get to
So,
watch the
so,
kids
so
grow
you're
up.
saying the Kevin Hart daddy imprint without meaning to be an imprint because you just took
No,
a picture that day.
I mean the accidental. Like, is that my lick? You know what I mean? Like, I just happen to have this
That's what it
on,
look like.
and I'm live, and and it's like, okay, I see what you're working with here. Okay.
Keela, what we looking like on the green flag?
On the green flags, definitely somebody that's positive, you know. I like somebody got the positive energy, you know. So that's
A good word.
Well, what does that even mean though? Positive energy. What is that? How does that look to you?
Well, positive energy is just gonna definitely be somebody who's got something good to say. Either they're sharing good information, you know, or they've got that, you know, like even if it's just something that you're learning, you know, like you got something good to share.
Give me an example.
Like if you it was like about money.
Affirmation.
Like money. Affirmations is good. Money is good. Like if you're telling me how I can invest, or if you're telling me how I
How
can
can you add to the situation?
yeah, like it's a lot going on right now. So if
What are
you
you
can
bringing,
keep me
sir?
abreast of what's happening in the world, like something that I might have missed, that I think that's a positive thing. So like I look at that as good stuff right there. You know,
That's good
like
stuff.
somehow I can make money, or you turning me on to a job, or you're or you're turning me on to some stuff that is useful. You know, that's
As Marie
positive.
Kondo would say, sparks joy.
Yes, yes. Now that sparks joy, you know. Now if you're trying to get money from me, that's
Now you're a hoochie
that's-
daddy.
Well, let's
that's a
just go
problem.
back to what the red
Gonna say,
flag
hey,
was.
no to the
That's a
hoochie
problem.
daddies.
And
Okay, no city boys.
right, you know.
No
so,
city boys. That what be
I'm broke, baby.
anus as
I got nothing for you.
Lovely green flags.
Be still my heart with children. Charitable events.
You melt me.
If you love kids, you got me. Panties off. Sorry.
Yeah, lovely always brings.
Wow. Okay.
brings
When it comes,
like-
it's the babies for me. Like,
Yeah.
if you like kids, you got me.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
The charitable events was a good one too. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
and
see a
good
man's
good
heart,
events
yeah.
are good.
You have a great
Good
heart.
events,
A beautiful
yeah.
heart. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
you're
saying?
talking about
For
other
any
people,
individual,
helping other people,
plants, animals,
Yeah.
things like that, a sentient being, you got me.
Well, amen to you being
Existentialism.
connected, because that's the whole point.
Yeah.
If you're a tree hugger and
Come
you like
through.
smoke a little bit of trees, I can fuck with you.
Give a tree,
Hey,
let the tree,
little
let the
bit.
tree. Hey, let the
Okay.
tree.
All right. So we
So
just
my
gonna
green
do some
flag.
quick rapid fire. Ultimate red flags, ultimate green flags.
Let's go.
So for me, ultimate green flag, artist. Somebody can sing, dance, draw.
Oh, talent. Yeah.
Some creative talent. I love a musician. I love come through green flag.
Okay.
Is that a red
I'm
flag?
all about
Talent, you know.
Come through
they-
somebody
look.
that can make me feel like I'm not an alien on this earth, and that you can connect with me because you also have a talent and you're not just stoic.
Well, I got another one.
Yeah.
Green flag. Make you laugh.
Ooh,
Yes,
come
that
on,
was
make
mine.
you laugh. Yes, make you laugh.
I love a good sense of humor. As long as you're not a stand-up comedian, I will never date another.
That's what I'm
stand-up
saying.
comedian.
Like,
But like, as long
I
as
can't.
you-
That
as
laughter
long as,
thing come at a
like,
price.
Yes,
That
you know how
laughter
many
come at a
ugly
price.
guys I done dated because they funny. Oh my god, like you little ugly, you are
Take
so
note.
hilarious. but no, for real, I love a good sense of humor, and I love people who are family oriented. Like even if you don't have kids, I love the camaraderie and someone. These are my cousins, and we hear this. My grandma. Oh, you love your grandma and your mama. Like I appreciate a man who has a healthy relationship with his mother.
Yes.
That's
Well.
a plus.
Depends
It depends
on
on
the mama.
I
It
said
depends.
healthy.
Red
I
flag.
said healthy. That
It
is not a
depends on the
mama's
mama.
boy.
She said healthy.
right.
She said
And
healthy.
then you don't
Yeah,
want it to
it's
be
not toxic.
the-
She's not narcissistic.
Okay,
Like his
okay.
mother got her head on straight. Like
Okay.
yes, queen, I rocks with you. You know what I'm saying? Like
I have a tendency to attract men who are worshipers of their mother.
that's different.
And
It is
that's a
different.
problem for me. So healthy, absolutely,
Healthy
because that means to me that you're going to
Healthy.
appreciate me. But when you put your mama before me, and I'm looking to be a married woman,
I just want to take a quick second to acknowledge the colorblind community that might be watching right now and just seeing all these grays. All these grays.
It's just a flag to you at this point.
I'm so
it's just,
sorry. We
it's just
apologize for this
leaving you out.
This very exclusive game.
Well, if it'll help, the green is on the left and the red is on the right.
There you go.
That does not help for my neck.
Her green's on top.
Greens and reds, my love. Ultimates. Things that get your goat and things that make you go,
Smart.
Ooh.
Yes.
I do like smart. Smart is good because that means, yes, I'm
Sapiosexual.
very much into that because
Sapiosexual.
yeah, very much, because you get in my head. Because if you could get in my head, then you might could get somewhere else.
How about that?
But you got to get in here.
How about that?
And a lot of times people, they're so busy like trying to do everything else, they don't realize like that connection starts here first.
That's the most important part.
Yeah.
Head. This is where the head meets the head.
See.
Well,
I'm just saying.
Well, all of that makes complete sense to me. And I really appreciate you ladies for being here today on this lovely episode about flags. No, it didn't do that.
Did you want the biggest red flag?
Please tell me about the biggest red flag.
The biggest red flag of all time is criminal.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know.
Have anybody on this panel dated
No. I don't mean he sold a little weed in the 90s. I'm talking about, he murdered somebody. He broke into people's houses 3 years ago. Like I'm talking about, I'm not talking about. We know black men have had to hustle in America. I'm talking about those kind of crimes that you cannot make an excuse for. Those kind of like. You watching the episode of First 48 and your boyfriend's on there. You know what I mean? Like because if he a snitch, he either know the murderer or he is the murderer or he's protecting the murderer.
Yeah, you can't.
All a red flag or a gray flag for our color.
Gray flags are important. Do understand, but that in itself is just a whole different conversation.
I mean,
too.
but you'd be surprised how many people will just be like they're dating a guy. You're just like, hey, didn't he shoot 3 people? Like, what is going on? That's not what happened. Nah, see, he cool. Like,
and
no,
he's
not.
T-shirt on.
He kills people.
Yeah.
Wow.
Check. You gotta check Otis first.
You
do. Okay.
And those be the same women who are in relationships that don't feel heard, right? And to a degree, when you bring up an issue in a relationship like that, it comes back to you as, no, you crazy.
Yeah, and we're real quick to feel protected by that tough guy. And it's like, oh, my man will do this, my man will do that. It's like, okay, my man can punch you, but my man can't pull out no gun and put it in your face now because now he's going to hurt somebody for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I think coming, especially from a city like Detroit where it's very crime oriented, we tend to like gloss over stuff like, and then he pulled the pistol out. Like, why is he pulling pistols out on people?
Yeah,
that's a red flag.
That is a red flag.
It should be a normal thing.
Yeah.
I know when I moved back to Detroit from New York was a Rudy Giuliani type of situation where if you had a gun like Plaxico, you going to jail. It don't matter what you did, who you are, how you did it. At the end of the day, you are going to jail. Detroit was on some Wild Wild West, like, well, I don't go nowhere without my gun. And I'm like, why not? That's a scary situation. And even now, we talking about a lot of different stuff. They're talking about gun bans in certain areas of downtown right now because of all the violence that's going on. And it was only 80 degrees for 2 days.
Yeah.
That's why I got back cold. I knew Mother Nature was like, y'all
They ain't ready. No, they ain't ready.
You let y'all outside yet?
Terrible. But listen, we have really enjoyed this episode of Every Woman. We love talking about these red flags and these green flags, and we love to hear more about the red flags that you've experienced in your life. Because trust me, we are not just these 5 women. We are every woman. And so we want to hear from you. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. And we are every woman. Tune in next week. We appreciate you. Woo!
Shout out to
Wave your flag. Hey, wave your flag. Hey.
So look,
This is so fun.
Silly.
back when I was married, right?
Right.
I said something, and the wife at the time didn't understand the word resent. And she said, I resemble that statement. It cracked me the fuck up. So